Hi everyone, welcome to Vlogmas day 10. In today's video, I thought I would do an honest reflection of the goals I set myself for 2021 to see how I did or didn't do, as the case may be. Now this is a video I did film. It was my New Year's resolution video for 2021. But in the end, I didn't post it just because the quality of the video did not come out very well. So I've got them written down in front of me and I'm just going to discuss them. I will be honest, I will share the successes, I will share the failures. So let's jump right in. My first one was to look after my health a little bit better in terms of food and fitness. I can say I've done pretty well with this one. Fitness especially. I'm probably in the best shape I have been for the majority of my adult life. A lot of that is owing to the fact that I stopped hormonal contraception this year. That's not because I've got any plans, by the way, but I did stop taking it and I have been on various forms of hormonal contraception since I was 17, and I had no idea how much that was impacting my body. I know some people have absolutely no side effects from it, so if this completely does not relate to your experience, then just ignore me. But for me, it really did. And years ago, the first type of hormonal contraception I had was an implant. It was Nexplanon, I think it was called. And I had that for a year, and I went back to my doctor and asked her if I could have it removed because I was 100% convinced it was causing me to gain weight. And she said, no, weight gain is not a side effect of the implant. And so she sent me away. And a year later I came back. She's supposed to have it for 3 years. But one thing it was doing was making me really moody. Like, I became a right cow. And like my mum noticed it, everyone noticed it, and I just wasn't myself. So after that I went on a combination pill, and I've been on that for 9 years. So it's been a very long time since my body just did its natural thing. I have been off and iffy about my weight and the way I look. And I've always just known until I actually change something, I wasn't going to be happy. I wasn't down for accepting. I wanted to improve, if you like. So I made the decision this year to come off the pill because I was convinced the reason I was struggling to lose weight and maintain a healthy, realistic diet was because of hormonal contraception. And so I stopped taking it. Bear in mind, over the course of the 2 years having the implant, I put on over 2 stone, and then being on the pill, I dropped a little of it, but I've never been back to the weight I was. I mean, granted, that's probably because I was 17 and not even a full adult by that point, but I've never got back to even sort of close to my starting point. So I've stopped taking it, and I'd noticed within maybe a month or 2 months that my appetite had significantly decreased. And I think that was the problem. It isn't that hormonal contraception necessarily makes you gain weight, but it does not do any favours for your appetite, because I could just eat and eat and eat, and I could eat junk food, and I wouldn't just have one treat, I could have loads of treats and never really feel like I'd had too much. Like, I could feel full if I'd had a big meal, but it wouldn't be long before then I could eat something else again and I'd be like, yeah, I'm okay with this. And loads of people will say it's all about your willpower, but I think those people may not necessarily understand the mentality involved behind that, and the fact that it makes you miserable, and that actually having those treats really do make you feel better at the time, probably guilty afterwards in my experience. And the only reason now that I don't eat in the way I did was because I don't have the appetite for it. And it was the physical change there, not a willpower change, that made me able to eat less. I don't even think about food until I'm actually starving and my tummy's rumbling. Like, it doesn't cross my mind. I'm not thinking about treats all the time. I'm not thinking, have I got any chocolate in the fridge at home for when I walk through the door? It doesn't cross my mind anymore. And I cannot believe the difference. And I'm convinced it was hormonal contraception. It reacts differently to different people, but I am certain that that's the biggest change for me. The other thing I did, as you may know, is I started going to the gym. So that, combined with coming off the pill, I think has done wonders for my physical and mental health. So that's really, really good. I love working out. I am excited to go to the gym, which I cannot even believe because I don't think I'd have ever been like that before. And I've been doing so much better eating healthy food, eating more fruits and vegetables and all of that good stuff, and I feel so much better for it. So in terms of health, I think I've given that a really good go in terms of food and fitness. I think for a goal for the year, we are in a much better place. However, linked to that, which is my second goal, was to slow down. And in all honesty, I was doing brilliantly with this whilst we were in lockdown. I feel like it was the only favour that lockdown served us, and the whole working from home thing, because I was able to really slow down. I spent less time preparing for work because I could only do tasks that could be done from home, which meant a lot of tasks were immediately taken off the to-do list and put on hold for later when we went back into the workplace. I had more time then to look after myself or to do the things that made me feel relaxed and recharged. As soon as we went back into the workplace, that all went out the window, and I'm convinced it's just my job that means I cannot physically slow down. There are just not enough hours in the day to do that and do everything else that needs to be done. And I keep seeing this thing popping up on social media. It's something like the 40-hour work week was designed for people who had someone else doing all the chores at home and then having all the other responsibilities. And I kind of agree with that, because I'm working around about a 50-hour work week plus running a house. And then, you know, there's the other things you want to do. Like, I want to be able to go to the gym. I want to be able to do YouTube. I would like to be able to socialise every now and then. And that leaves very little time for anything else. So for me, my priority is getting a good night's sleep. So I try to get myself in bed as early as I can. But that means things like relaxing on the sofa or going for a walk or having a bath or reading a book, or just things that are generally quite relaxing, they don't happen. I have to choose between those or my sleep. So I would say I am not doing good on goal number 2, which was to slow down. I put a lot of pressure on myself to get everything done and do what needs to be done, and all at the same time doing a really, really good job. Bit of a perfectionist, but it's just the way I am. And it really doesn't help that there seems to be just, I wouldn't so much call it a trend, because it's been going on for a long time now, where we value the ability to multitask. Like, I'm amazing because I can work full time and I'm raising my children, looking after my house and doing this side hustle and maintaining my health and fitness and doing this and doing that. And it's just like, why is this the thing that is promoted so much? Why is it not slowing down and looking after ourselves? And you know what? Being able to cope with doing a million things at once is not necessarily an amazing thing. Why is this pushed so much? It drives me a little bit mad, to be perfectly honest. So I did not meet that goal. And whilst I work the job I do at full-time capacity, I don't think I will be able to meet that, which kind of makes me a little bit sad. But I do love my work. And it's kind of like, I view it as just a sacrifice I make for the job I do. But even so. Oh, 2 bad ones in a row. That's not good. Number 3 was to read all of my books. And as I've just mentioned, finding the time to do that is not really available to me at the moment. I started the year really well when we were in lockdown. I finished the first Game of Thrones book and I went on to A Clash of Kings and I read that. And then I started A Storm of Swords, maybe April, I don't know. I'm probably still on about chapter 3 and I haven't picked it up for the latter part of the year. And I have not read any other books that I can remember. And so reading all my books, we're 2 books less all year. And one of them I was very nearly finished. I probably had about 2 chapters left of the first Game of Thrones book. So I've really just read one book, one decent chunky book all year. And that's not because I don't like to read. I love to read. I haven't got time to read. And the one time I would probably try to read would be in bed. And as soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm gone. I'm so exhausted. I'm physically exhausted all the time that I'm just asleep. So reading didn't happen. That's 2 goals that we haven't met. Goal number 4 was to declutter anything that made me unhappy. I think I've done this really, really well. I won't say I have done it thoroughly because I still look at my surroundings and I think the stuff here I want to let go of, but there are obstacles in my mind that tell me I might need that, or don't declutter it for this reason, and etc, etc. But for the most part, I think I've done really well decluttering things that I don't want to keep in my space. I've still got a long way to go. This is a journey and it is all a process. I have not reached the point of minimalism that I want. I don't know that that is something you can ever actually reach. So I would say I've given that a really good go and I'm happy with my progress. Number 5 was to improve my capsule wardrobe, and I can say so much yes. My wardrobe right now, I, for the most part, absolutely love. I'm still not 100% there with it. There are still some things that I think I should let go of and I've not yet. There are some sort of style elements I don't think I've fully worked out for myself yet. But for the most part, I think we have made amazing progress with the capsule wardrobe, and I am far, far more happy with, I would say, my style than I was last year. I'm really, really pleased with where it's at. I look forward to getting dressed in the mornings, and I feel great in a lot of my outfits now than I have done in the past. And my last goal, which has already been mentioned in a previous Vlogmas video, was to save £10,000, which I'm not there yet, but all my ducks are in a row and it shouldn't be a problem. By the end of December, that should be topped up, finished and completed. So I'm counting that as a goal completed as well. So of my 6 goals, I think that's 4 successful and 2 not so much. So over the next few days, I think I need to have a real think about my goals for 2022 and making them sensible, realistic, but at the same time something to really push and challenge myself for. So that's that. Let me know down in the comments, what were your goals? What did you succeed at? What did you fail at? Let's be honest, because I feel like a lot of people that post about their goals, they're very quick to talk about the successes, not so much to talk about their failures. And that's all a part of it, and I think it helps us to learn and grow. And you know, the things you fail at, maybe we can try harder next year or alter the goal slightly. Maybe it was too much to achieve, so maybe we need to take smaller steps to achieve it. We can learn from the failures, so also share those down below because I think they're important. Thank you for watching this video. I know the bit at the start where I talked about health and all of that stuff might have been a bit sort of out of the comfort zone for some people, but I did think it really was worth mentioning in case anyone else is feeling like they're in a similar situation. I just thought I'd put it out there because it is something that I've experienced. I didn't want to make a whole video on it because it doesn't necessarily relate to the theme of my channel, but I did just want to mention it, so I've put it out there. So if that was a little bit too much for you, I apologise, but if it helps someone, then I see that as a good thing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye.